Hello everyone, my name is Sarah, and today we'll be practicing a little vinyasa flow towards a box split. So if you're unfamiliar with middle splits or that's something that's not typically in your practice, this would be a wonderful opportunity to open up some of those hip muscles and start to work on the entirety of the hip. As we practice today, you'll notice lots of variations and different levels and modifications that you can take. Do not feel pressured at all to get yourself into a full middle split. I will show you now. I do not even have a full middle split in my practice. I just like to open the hip in this way and enjoy a little bit of fun along the way. So as we get started, if you have a bolster with you, might be nice for our first pose, which will be frog on a log. If you also have a block or two handy, not necessary, but might be nice in a couple of the poses. And other than that, I think we're ready to get started. Once again, my name is Sarah. Feel free to like and subscribe if you have not already. So we are going to start out with either a propped or unpropped version of frog pose. So if you're unfamiliar, I'll demo super quick. You start with the knees and the ankles in line in about a 90-90 orientation. So I've got my hips open, knees are wide, the ankles are flexed, so we have some sharp angles in the body. But if this feels uncomfortable for you or you're not ready to stay here for a particularly long time, grab a bolster and we'll play around with frog on a log. I don't know why, I just like to say it. So grab your bolster. If you have a block handy and you want something to rest your head on, this is where it comes into play. You'll start to walk the knees so they're just on either side of the bolster. And then as you begin to relax into this pose, you'll bring the knees out to the side, feet are flexed, and then begin to lower yourself onto the bolster. Noticing if you need to readjust your block. I like to leave a little bit of space for my head. And we won't spend too long here, but just deciding which variation for you feels like you get the most sensation. And as always, final option, if none of those feel good, come to a half frog where you extend one leg out long and the other leg is bent in that 90 degree motion. And if this is feeling okay for you to hang out for a little while, think of it as like a prone tree pose, just with that foot extended out to the side a bit. Breathing in, breathing out. Notice here as you sink a little bit deeper into your frog pose, and as you start to notice some of the layers being unfolded, just start to think about if there's anything today that you'd like to release. When we get into these big hip openers, and I'm sure this sounds cliche and you've heard all your yoga teachers say it, but I'll jump on that one too. We tend to store a lot of emotions in our hips. So if you're noticing after a really hip-heavy practice, and you're opening the hips and you're getting into some of the deeper layers, if you notice that you start to have some emotions that bubble up, I always like to say it's better to feel it and express it than to suppress it and let it become something more than it is. So notice what you're feeling. As you start to be intentional with your breath here in this pose, I want you to think about breathing into that space, into the pelvic floor, into that groin and hip space. Deep breath in. Long, slow exhale. Deep breath in. Long, slow exhale. All right, enough of that for now. As you very gently start to back your way into a normal seated pose, think about breathing through all of the transitions. I always find, especially when I start with yin yoga, that I tend to hold my breath during the transitions, which I think that can be a very rich and valuable place to be intentional with it. In a comfortable seat, we'll begin from here just to walk the flesh of the sitting bones back, and we will come into a Agni Stampasana or fire log pose. Think of this as a 90-90 orientation, so similar but different. We'll take flex through the ankle. We'll have a bend in the knee. You may need to walk your ankle so it's a little bit further over towards the side of the body, and then you'll stack your opposite ankle on top of opposite knee. So if you're not feeling much sensation here, or you're getting into a spot that feels a little bit stale, you're always welcome to walk that top ankle over a little bit further so you feel a little bit more sensation. If you are getting too much sensation here, please, please, please feel free to join me in a comfortable seat. We'll roll the shoulders back, deep breath in. Long, slow exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms above the head. Exhale, hinge and fold as far as you feel comfortable over the legs. So maybe while maintaining the length of the spine, this is as far as you fold. If you feel a bit more restorative or in the mood to curl into the body, maybe you round the back and begin to fold in a little deeper. We'll take 3 more breaths on this side, breathing deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. Twice more inhale. Let it go. Final time, inhale. And exhale. From here, in order to switch sides, we'll extend both legs out towards the outer corners of the mat. Big breath in, sweep the arms above the head. Exhale, big arc up and over with that right hand over towards the left toes. Deep breath in, back through center. Exhale, left hand, right toes. Now this time, we'll bend into the opposite leg. So for me, I'm putting my right leg on the bottom, taking that left leg on top, and restacking everything for Agni Stampasana. So as we look, noticing the sensation where it lies. If you press with that big toe mound on both of the feet, it can give a bit more connection stability. I'll take 8 deep breaths here. Just noticing as you roll the shoulders back, if you'd like to fold, or if this is enough sensation for you, please stay here. Deep breath in. Long, slow exhale. Maybe you sweep the arms above the head. Maybe you fold. Just a few more moments here. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. All right, from here we'll make our way into a tabletop pose. So just noticing how it feels to transition to all fours. If intuition tells you to take some cat-cow-like movements or spinal rolls through the belly, feel free to answer that call and just see how it feels to move with intuition rather than habit. So if you find yourself in a pattern where you tend to gravitate towards the same things, that can be very soothing. But if it feels even better to experiment with something a little different or change up your mindset, then by all means go with that. A few more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, just exploring movement in the body. Inhale. Exhale. From here, we'll make our way into a downward facing dog, pressing through that L shape of index finger and thumb. Lifting hips up and back. Hips lift, heels lower. Deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. Next inhale. Lift your left leg up and back behind you. Bend your knee and open up your hip. Exhale, step that left foot through in between the hands. Drop your right knee and begin to rise into your low lunge. Deep breath in. Arms lift. Exhale. From here, we'll take the left hand down to either the floor, a block, or a hover. And we'll begin to arc your right arm up and over for a little bit of a side body stretch. Inhale. Exhale, plant both hands to the inside of your left foot. Begin to tuck under your right toes and transition this into a Skandasana shape. So side lunge on the left. Deep breath in. Exhale. We'll transition through Skandasana over towards the right and see if you can settle yourself onto the ground. So left hip plants, right hip may be a little bit lifted, and that's all okay. Deep breath in. Right hand up and over towards left toes. Exhale. Can you actively draw this right knee away from the center line of the body as you spiral your chest up towards the ceiling? From here, take that right shin, plant it onto the earth. With right hand behind your right hip, we'll lift into a baby wild thing. Big breath in. And exhale. From here, we'll plant both hands towards the back of the mat and shift this into a pigeon pose. So I have my right knee bent, right leg is in front. And if it feels good to hang out here for a minute, sway a bit. Maybe you find any variation of mermaid pose if that feels good. You could slide that left foot into the crease of the elbow. Or if you'd rather stay restorative today, hang out in your sleeping pigeon. Do your thing. There's no better or worse. No right or wrong. When you're ready, both hands plant at the back of the mat. We'll tuck our left toes under, lifting your right leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Big breath in. Exhale, set it down to meet the left. From here, shake out any sort of wiggles or tension in the body. With one breath in, lift the hips higher. With your next breath out, sink the heels lower. Next, inhale, left leg lifts up and back behind you. Bend the knee and open up the hip. And as you exhale, step your left foot through in between the hands. Drop your right knee, lift up into your low lunge. Deep breath in. Exhale, plant that left hand down to the ground, a hover or a block. Right arm up and over, big side stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Both hands come to the inside of the left foot. We'll tuck under right toes, finding your side lunge or Skandasana on the left side. Deep inhale. Exhale. One more breath in. And exhale, transition through Skandasana. Over to the right side. We'll take one breath in here. And then as you exhale, maybe you set that left hip down. We'll start to take the right hand up and over towards left toes. You may need to readjust this right foot. And notice how it feels to actively press this right knee away, extending with that right hand. Big breath in. And exhale. Take that right hand behind right hip. Begin to lift into your baby wild thing. Inhale. And exhale, plant the left hand down. We'll start to shimmy or scoot so we have that right foot in front. Right leg is bent for our pigeon pose. Deep inhale. And exhale. Taking any variation you'd like, whether it be uplifted or in more of a sleeping position. We'll take 3 more breaths here, settling in. And then when you're ready, Begin very gently to walk your way out of it. We'll plant the hands, tuck under the left toes, and lift that right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, set it down. Downward facing dog. Same thing, second side. We'll start with the right leg lifting. Big breath in. And exhale, step that right foot through this time. Dropping the left knee, sweeping up into your low crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, right hand drops towards the ground or a hover. Left arm up and over, deep inhale. Exhale, gently plant both hands to the inside of the right foot and make your way into your Skandasana. Deep breath in. And also, if you'd like a block underneath the hip to support, always a good option. Exhale. When you're ready, we'll transition through Skandasana over towards the left side. And then when it feels right for you, sit the booty down and begin to take that variation of wrapping right peace fingers around left big toe. Arc up and over with those left peace fingers towards right big toe. Deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. When you're ready, this left shin will flatten towards the floor, left hand behind left hip, as we shift and lift into baby wild thing. Big breath in. And exhale, sit the hips down. From here, we will make our way into a pigeon pose at the back of the mat. So, begin very gently to shift that right foot back, making your way down. Deep breath in. And exhale. Final breath in. And exhale. Plant the hands, tuck under your right toes, lifting left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Big breath in. Exhale, set it down. Final side of our mandala flow for this one. Lifting your right leg up and back behind you, bend the knee, open up the hip. And as you exhale, step that right foot through. Begin gently to rise into your low crescent lunge. Deep breath in. And exhale. Hope my lights are okay. They'll be fine. Inhale. Exhale, side body stretch over towards the right. Next, inhale, both hands, the inside of the right leg. Transition to Skandasana. Big breath in. And exhale. Bend in the left knee, Skandasana on the left. From here, we'll make our way into your seated Skandasana. Grabbing right peace fingers to left big toe. Left hand up and over, deep breath in. And exhale. Inhale, take that left hand behind left hip. Begin to lift into your baby wild thing. And exhale, making your way into your pigeon, setting the left hip down. Breathing in. And out. From here, we're going to make our way to a comfortable seat. We'll skip that final down dog as we're finished with our mandala. And we'll have a little bit of practice with middle splits before coming on to a restorative variation on the wall. So from here, legs are wide, feet are flexed. We take the shoulders up, back, and down. Deep breath in. And exhale. Take that left hand up and over towards right toes. Deep breath in. And exhale back through center. Right hand towards left toes. Inhale. Exhale back through center. Inhale, sweep both hands up. Exhale, hinge and fold, maintaining that integrity and length in the spine. So if your legs are like mine and they're in more of a V shape, completely fine. We don't need to flatten entirely because that can be a bit startling to the body. But if you're trying to work your way more into a middle split or a box split, feel free to take the transition slowly as you settle and land into your box split. See if you can make little stops along the way, noticing sensation. So for me, I've noticed some sensation in the hamstrings right now. I'm noticing some in the inner groin. But as I start to roll forward and really tilt my pelvis forward, more digging into the ground, I feel like I have a bit more reach. So at this point, breathing into the hip space, deep breath in. Long, slow exhale. And if you're like me and if you reach completely forward, you feel that lift of the sits bones off the mat, feel free to back off a bit just so we can keep that area totally planted. Deep inhale. We'll rise back up when you're ready. Exhale. From here, we will make our way to the wall. So, as you land, I'm going to scoot my mat a little bit closer, making things a bit easier. There we go. If you would like to scoot yours closer as well, I invite you to do so. We'll start with hips parallel to the wall, as always, and begin to roll the hips onto our back so we can make our way into our Viparita Karani shape, or legs up the wall. If you really enjoy this sensation and you want to hang out in legs up the wall, no worries at all. If you want to continue your practice on your middle split journey, for starters, we're going to start with more of a check mark shape. I like to prep the legs in this way, so think of it as a half butterfly. So Ardha Baddha Konasana in the left leg, and then that right leg's going to come entirely out to the right. No sense of activity in this leg. We're just letting it be passive. Deep breath in. Long, slow exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now switch the legs. Right knee bends, left leg extends out long. Connecting to breath. Now you can either bring both legs back to center or just extend that right leg out to the right so you can find your way into a box split up the wall. So if you'd like to tilt the pelvis back and start to see if you can bring those feet a little wider, you're more than welcome. Breathing in and out. If you notice a little bit of a sensation in the body starting to lean towards relaxation and you want to hang here, know that you're more than welcome. If you'd like to take a butterfly pose up the wall to bring a little bit less sensation in the knees, feel free to draw the soles of the feet together. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in. Long, slow exhale. And for our final resting pose today, if it would feel good in your body to stay legs up the wall, you're more than welcome. If you'd prefer to make your way onto your back, feel free. I would say it'd be nice to have a bolster or a block or something under the knees. Whatever you've got, just to alleviate some of the tension in the low back. As we make our way back onto the backs, we're starting to relax into more of a restorative legs up the wall shape. Start to notice any shifts in the body. Maybe you think back to any intentions or what draws you into your practice. What is the thread that connects your practices, or what is the spark that you get when you're on your mat that keeps you coming back? And I want you to think of the feeling, that sensation that's evoked when you practice intentional breathing and movement. But I want you to extend it further to the lineage of teachers that stand before us, to the other participants and practitioners currently breathing and moving in the world. And I want you to think of this on a bigger scale. As we get into targeted practices for bigger poses, it can feel a little bit insignificant, as if you're working up for something that is a bit more shallow. And I want you to think of this as an exploration of breath and movement rather than a practice of achievement. We're not working towards a final destination. We're just enjoying the journey along the way. Deep inhale and exhale. When you feel ready and the timing works for you, we'll roll over to one side, drawing knees into the chest, maybe opening the hips and closing them a bit, maybe just waterfall, lifting the legs towards the sky. But eventually, we'll make our way over to one side and up to a comfortable seat. Hips propped up on something if you'd like. If not, no worries. Roll the shoulders back. Palms come to heart center. Deep breath in and exhale. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank yourself for taking the time to practice. Thank those around you who are dedicating their breath and movement to a practice as similar. And thank all the teachers that have come before you to bring us this beautiful lineage. Deep breath in and exhale. Thank you. Once again, my name is Sarah. If you enjoyed these videos, please, please, please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to like and subscribe, and let me know what you'd want to see. Thanks so much.